or the famous Sweet Georgie. But regardless of moniker, I am a lifelong partner in crime with the groom and consequently chosen as tonight's master of ceremony. You will all learn tonight what ladies learned our whole lives growing up. You may have come for the John boy, but you're staying for the Sweet Georgie. And if history teaches us anything, you're likely still leaving with the John boy. What the bride and groom doesn't know is long before they knew they'd be together, I knew. I've been preparing this speech for the better part of a decade. How arrogant, you may say. How did you know they would choose you to be MC? Well, it's not arrogance, folks. It's the process of elimination. You see, out of all of John Boy's friends, I wrote the book on public speaking. But even if I didn't, if I simply read a book on any subject, I would have still been the de facto choice. Speaking at this wedding was an interesting challenge for me, as it forced me to deviate from my standard formula. As roughing up John Boy did not test well with audiences. So I had to dig deep and ask myself why. Why is John Boy untouchable? It was in the digging that I unearthed some difficult truths I had to come to terms with. You see, John Boy has been the golden boy since childhood, as will be evidenced by story after story tonight. With no effort, he was our grandparents' favorite. So tonight, rather than doing the typical master of ceremonies introductions, I will really take it to the next level and give the people what they want. Beef by the barrelful. Before each speaker, I'll give you a glimpse into my past with the group. You'll hear about our childhood up until about the age of 18, and then we skip a decade, based on advice from legal counsel. I'll start with one of my most infamous stories of John Boy being favored above all others. We grew up in our Tante Josephine's house, and we loved our Tante. So much did we love our Tante that we named our cousin Triad after her trademark laugh, Tuska, Tuska, Tuska. And as such, John Boy, Dominic Futter, and I were known as the Three Tuskatins. I tell you this only to give you the background on how deep our love for our Tante was. If only it were reciprocated in equal proportion. Now, the story I'm about to give you is not one isolated incident, but every time I go by my Tante, some variation of the following occurred. I would open the door and say, "Hello, Tante, excited to see her." She would typically respond with an equally excited, "John Boy, is that you?" "No, George, no, Tante, it's George." "Oh, you know where John Boy is?" Shattered but undeterred, I would respond by announcing whatever I brought with me to gain favor that trip. "No, Tante, but I got your favorite flowers. I really had to search." "He at church? Such a good boy. Go find him and make sure he gets home okay." "All right, Tante, well, I just reached, but sure, I'll leave and go scour the town for John Boy at a fictitious church." Our first speaker is a man who was my childhood doctor. So this masterpiece was in part sculpted by him. Congrats on a job well done. Ladies and gentlemen, the father of the groom, Dr. George Lapis. Now, Nissa may not know this, but I've been stalking her on social media since she started dating my boy. I remember the first day I realized I liked her. In the morning, she posted a quote from Khalil Gibran. And I sat there and I thought, she's talking Gibran, and he's talking gibberish. He better lock this down fast. Later that night, she posted the now infamous picture with John Boy and his dog titled Papa and Bob. Immediately I thought, well, that's an odd name for a dog. I better get this story. So I called him up. "John Boy, how did you come up with that name for your dog?" And he responded, "Well, you see, the dog nickname is Papa because," and I couldn't believe my good luck. Wait. So the dog is Papa. So then I guess I'm speaking to Bob. What followed, folks, was a silence. The silence of a man who knew he just let slip something that would haunt him for an eternity. Now, I'm a naturally inquisitive person, so my head was swimming with questions. Why was he Bob? Was it because he was the black sheep? Had he any wool? I didn't know. But what I did know is that Bob was born. From that point onward, Bob received sheep cookies and wool sweaters for every birthday and every Christmas. Websites sprung up in his honor, and I immediately commissioned a painting to be done with his face on a sheep's body that hangs in my office to this day. I would call him randomly and slip it into conversation. John Boy, I just got back from the doctor who said I have bad insomnia. What did he tell you to do, boy? Sleep apnea mask? No. He suggested I come to you. Our next speaker, speaking on behalf of the father of the bride, Mr. Surendra Hanuman. Nissa described her father as a person who believed in her most, and I've never met him prior to this day. But the grace, brilliance, and beauty that have become the trademark of Nissa shows that his belief in her was very warranted. Speaking on behalf of the father of the bride, is a lifelong neighbor and dear friend of the family. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kurt Duncan. The year was 1996. Ask Jeeves was the search engine of choice, and Jerry Maguire was in theaters imploring us to show me the money. The problem was, there was no money to be shown. A young John Boy rides in a car with sweet Georgie and the boys, and the topic turns to lunch. We pool our collective resources, which amount to about $10. But forever the team player, John Boy says, don't worry, I have a Discover card my father gave me. Thank you very much for the lunches, Uncle Bob. Now, if Visa's slogan is, everywhere you want to be, Discover card slogan should be, nowhere you have ever been. Because nobody accepts Discover card. So off we went, looking for one of the handful of restaurants in the Tri-County area, desperate enough for business to accept John Boy's third-rate form of payment. We find a diner in an unsavory neighborhood, and in we go. As the double doors swing open, we're greeted by a waitress who is absolutely precious. And by that I mean, she's 100% the girl from the movie, Precious. I asked the question that had yielded a negative response at the 3 previous destinations. Pardon me, dear, you accept Discover card. To which Precious turns around and looks at our wayward group, giving us the once-over. As her eyes dart from person to person, I see her face light up as she points her finger into the middle of the scrum at John Boy. It says the immortal line we still use to this day. I accept him. I take him. Now, John Boy, clearly rattled by this indecent proposal, but forever the gentleman, leans forward and whispers to the group, fellas, please, let's get out of here, please. But Uncle Bud, I hope you know I was never one to waste your money. So I decided to see what offer was on the table. I pulled John Boy aside and sum up the situation as I see it. Nobody is accepting Discover card, and Georgie's belly is rumbling. But before I could get the words out, John Boy leads off with, no, not happening. Don't be so hasty, I tell you. Let's hear her out. Beef, this is not happening. Relax, John Boy. I'm not telling you to get married to her. But somewhere on the graph, of free food and what you're willing to do for it is an intersection. Now, it's just a matter of negotiation. You wouldn't marry her for the entire restaurant. I get it, I do. Or would you hold her hand for some mozzarella sticks? Would you give her a peck on the cheek for a cheeseburger? What am I working with here? Now, I'm not proud that I was prepared to pimp out my best friend for a meal. But when sweet Georgie's blood sugar dips, logically, it ceases to be sweet anymore. So after we finished our steaks and John Boy stopped crying, I turned to him and said, not to push my luck, but do you think we could go to Häagen-Dazs and you could shake your bottom for a scoop? Our next speaker is the stepfather to the bride. He has known Nissa since she was 18 years old and has played his part in making her the powerhouse we see before us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Durandas. Thank you, Ken. As we grew up in Florida, John Boy, Dominic, Fata, and I were forced into various competitions by our children to separate the wheat from the chaff. It could be a drawing contest, who could take the most lashes on their hand with a slipper, but on this particular day, it was a spelling competition. Oh, how sure I was that $1 prize money would be mine. I was already tallying what candy I would buy her. So Jido lines us all up. I will give you the clue, and you spell the answer. Young John Boy. And go meow meow, and drink milk from the saucer. I get what you do. I know what you want. It's a cat. K. You're such a smart boy, Jido. You spell it phonetically. You are a very smart boy. You see here, ka, so you think K. Smart. It is the other one, Jido. Try the other. Okay, Jido, no problem. Cat. K, large Jido. But you are a boy who stick to your convictions. You have backbone. Do the other Jido. Oh, now I get you, Jido. Cat. C, Y. Okay, stop. You are outside the box thinker, you get a point. Mark Dominic Futter. It go ring, and you answer. Oh, I see what you're doing, Jido. You're trying to trick me. It's a phone. Phone. No, it is telephone. No abbreviation. You very lazy boy. No point. Georgie Saba. Spell phosphorescence. At the time I thought it was an unlucky draw. But now I see perhaps the odds were stacked in John Boy's favor. And why wouldn't they be? I'm sure Jido knew what a rough life he had ahead of him as the self-proclaimed best-looking Arab of his generation. Our next speaker is a gentleman in every sense of the word, and very possibly a contender for the best-looking Arab of his generation. Speaking on behalf of the guest, the ever-dapper Mr. Peter George Sr. Many years ago, I was doing my usual daily routine of stalking Nissa on social media, and I stumbled upon something in one of her posts that struck me odd. She did her usual lovely write-up praising our bar with the words, "His love gives me wings." I remember it distinctly because my wife had just given me chicken wings, so I related. But it ended with something I had never seen before. Tic-tac-toe, handsome bar. I was baffled. Why the tic-tac-toe? Was it a pound symbol? Did bar gain weight? I didn't know. I took to the internet to find out what I was missing. Siri, why would someone put tic-tac-toe followed by a sentence fragment without spacing? Siri hadn't a clue, so I rephrased it. Siri, what does tic-tac-toe handsome bar mean? That yielded only sheep videos. But I'm a smart man. Eventually I caught on. Hashtag quick study. Hashtag student becomes the master. So the next time she posted, I would be ready. Hashtag blindside bar. Hashtag Pearl Harbor. It took what seemed like an eternity, but Nissa eventually presented me with another opportunity to take a shot at bar. Hashtag sheep hunter. Hashtag hypervigilance. She posted a picture of bar in his jacket and vest with the caption, hashtag look at him. And look at him I did. His now trademark vest. I felt compelled to post. You two look great, I wrote. Hashtag three-piece bar. Hashtag I bet it's wool. Nissa always took it in good humor, but always defended her bar. Beef, you must admit, she wrote. That man, that is man. Hashtag bar beautiful. I knew when I was outmatched. Our next speaker is Nissa's dearest friend and maid of honor. Hashtag EFF, hashtag Friends for Life, hashtag Cedar Grove Primary. Miss Natisha Takridas. Papa is home alone. Olivia, call a babysitter, please. Now, I know I promised stories of the group between every speech, but I have an axe to grind with this next particular speaker. Superlatives are thrown around all too often in this life, but none more evident than this evening's best man. I don't know where to start on this one, so I'll start at the beginning. Best. Best. Really. Out of everyone in contention, he was the best. Even if it were just between he and I, which it was, he would not even be the better man, far less for the best. And man, while Georgie is a gem, he does not check off too many boxes in the masculine category. In researching prior to this speech, I asked random people, what is the first thing that pops into your head when I say Georgie Lapis? And the answer came back invariably the same. That boy is a beauty! And indeed he is. But I ask you, is that the hallmark of a man? So I've established that you fit the criteria for best man, like I fit a department store medium. But still, I had to make peace with this atrocity. So I started thinking, best man. That just means he's theoretically better than half the people in attendance, the men. While I, on the other hand, was the master of the entire ceremony, which included the men. Best, worst, and all in between. Still, that brought me very little solace, as the glaring inaccuracy was still present. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker with the much more accurate title of closest male blood relative to the groom, and rare beauty indeed, Mr. Georgie Lapis Jr. Growing up with the self-proclaimed Antonio Banderas of the Arab community could have very easily stifled lesser souls. Although John Boy was the golden boy of his clan, I was the youngest child and only boy of my family, so the sun rose and set with me. Therefore, it was quite some time before I realized John Boy wasn't my younger, less attractive cousin, and that maybe he was considered classically good-looking by some. It always perplexed me. Why would someone go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal when the option to supersize it was right there in front of them? But I remember the first day it dawned on me that perhaps my unique brand of rugged good looks did not have the mass market appeal of, let's say, a John Boy. It was the first time we went to the club. We walked in and claimed our place by the bar and put our only move into play, the bear trap, where you stand there and you wait, and wait, and wait for someone to stumble across your path and show interest. And then, the problem was, his trap was snapping left and right, and I stood there bewildered. Perhaps it's the lighting, I thought. These disco lights must be very disorienting for these poor people. But that can't be it. He's working under the same conditions. What could this be? Was I standing under a vent? Did I put on too much cologne and Alan Lapis myself out of contention? I went through scenario after scenario, trying to figure it out as the parade kept passing me by. Then a dark thought entered my mind. Could my mother have been wrong? Was Georgie Sandler not the most handsome boy in the world? She would never lie to me. So I quickly dismissed it as paranoid. And assumed it must be fetish night if they were passing by a prime cut of beef like me. Maybe malnourished was the new black. I pondered it over some ice cream later in the evening, and it dawned on me. John Boy is chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? When you walk up to the counter, chocolate looks awesome. But then you think, maybe I'll take a chance on mint chip. Maybe you got a recommendation. Maybe you went to a wedding, and all anyone ever said was mint chip, mint chip, mint chip. So you gave it a sample. And that was rewarded. After the first taste hits you, the complexities that you never knew existed overwhelm your senses, and your flavor preferences are forever altered. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce the man of the hour, the groom himself, Mr. John Latisse.
Thank you, Beef. Just for the record, never see an ice cream parlor sell out the mint chip. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, on behalf of my beautiful wife and I,
when I wasn't sure I would ever get to give this speech. Then, Nissa, there was you. I remember the day I knew you had stolen my cousin's heart. I saw a picture of you both, and I noticed John Boy was no longer staring at the camera posing. He was staring at you. Picture after picture. The man who couldn't pass a mirror without giving it a smile, and then an approving nod. Didn't care how he looked, because he was looking at you. And who could blame him? You are a stunner. Not Georgie Lucky's level beautiful, but who is? They say you know you're truly in love when you put someone else's happiness above your own. In those pictures, I see my friend looking at you to make sure you are happy, for your happiness will dictate his. I noticed it in every picture to follow, because it no longer mattered how the world saw it. It mattered how you saw it. You were together. You forgot the rest. So tonight we celebrate you both, your love story. We congratulate you, Nissa, on all your hard work in molding the bar we see before us today, nearly a decade in the making. We gave you John Boy, and you made him John Man. I wish you a lifetime of love together, and a home filled with laughter, and the security of knowing there's no greater blessing than being loved for exactly who you are. Now, Mr. and Mrs. John Latisse, you are together. Forget the rest. I would like to call upon Father Ron to bless and take the meeting.